All right, what up, YouTube? Tonight's ain't here, back with another video. This video is gonna be about my experience. My experience growing up as a young black man, you know, fatherless. Let's say that. Like I said, I don't know what prompted me to even do this video, but something in me just told me, maybe my intuition speaking to me, just like the video ideas, so I could just keep pumping out content and not really, taking my foot off the gas pedal. But like I said, it's gonna be a little freestyle video about how I grew up in a way, or just the experience that I doubt is different from any other black man or just young black male like it's growing up. Because like I said, of course, I don't believe I'm a man yet. I'm a young man just trying to find his way and to become like a grown man handling business and that type of stuff. And like I said, it's hard. Like I said, of course, I don't complain about it. I still get up every day to make things happen. Like I said, I don't make excuses. I don't like making excuses. I don't like giving my own power up to external things, like to other people and circumstances. Like I said, I grew up middle child of 10 kids. My mama wasn't around. My father wasn't there either. My mother was really at work. My father just, was handling whatever he was handling. When I was younger, I think I took it to heart a lot, but I think as I got more spirituality and things like that, I started to understand how my life turned out the way it turned out now. And like I said, I'm grateful for the life that I do have. Like I said, I wouldn't want it no other way. I'd rather live this life over and over again than have somebody else's problems in their own life. Cause like I said, it wasn't all bad, but of course, it was challenges and like I said, things that just weren't optimal for my own, or even just not even my own, but like my siblings' upbringing. I think that without me growing up without a father, a lot of my identity was like very rigid. Not rigid, it was very loose. Growing up, especially in this day and age where it's media and it's characters. Everybody, like, it's like on the internet, social media, it's like everybody are characters. And everybody is somebody trying to uphold an image. So let's say, for instance, example, like me, as a recent, or when I was younger, I think I always wanted to be a superhero. Like I said, my YouTube name is even like a superhero name I made when I was like in middle school, when I would draw and stuff like that. The Night Saint, that's just something I always had. It's always gonna stick with me because I think that's who I am at heart. Like how Bruce Wayne is not Bruce Wayne is all his name is the Batman in his head, and it's a good way to disassociate with who you are in the sense of like your ego. Like it's like a spiritual name for me, and I'm starting to understand that more now. And I think I'm gonna start calling myself that in my head, and I just because I just want to, it's more about progressing spiritually and just doing better for myself and not associating myself, so I can look at Kevin and my own life from a different angle and not be so attached to it because, like I said, I'm Kevin. Well, I go throughout my day as Kevin, like I said, and like I said, I think just being able to look at it from a different perspective will always, help. But back to the original topic, I grew up not really knowing who I was, and not just like on the base level, but like on the gender type of level, like not even like a weird. It's like a man. I'm a male. I'm a young black male, and I'm growing up, and all I'm seeing is a lot of other young black males that's not really doing nothing with their day, and they not doing nothing. They not ambitious. They not really getting to it. They very feminine and lazy, and just very they just like slouching around all day, and they have no goals. They have no type of intelligence, no emotional intelligence. A lot of them very emotional, whether it's sad or there's anger. It's just no lack of control. Sense of logic is out the door. And like I said, I experienced all these type of things. I know that growing up, I wasn't very logical. I'm very sensitive. I was always very sensitive child. And growing up the way I grew up, it didn't help. Like I said, I always retreated inward. I was always inside the house because, like I said, the outside world scared me. Like I said, it's very hard for me to even talk to people even now, I can talk to people now because like I said, I got my like everybody puts a mask on every day. It's like my mask on, the mask I put on has the feature of, oh yeah, I can converse with people and actually communicate with people. And of course, like I said, I don't know how to feel about that, but that's just me. Like I said, I'm just a very reserved individual, and that's why I'm partially using this YouTube channel to help me become more of a conversing type of person that's willing to speak up and just talk to have conversation with people. But growing up naturally, I was just very shy. I didn't like to speak. I always spoke very fast. In many ways, like I would speak and my words become like gibberish, and like a lot of people would just make fun of me and that type of stuff. Like I said, I just didn't want to really deal with that. Right now, I got extremely better with it. Like I said, I just take my time and try to speak fluently. Even certain during these videos, if you watch them, you may if you watch them, you may see like me like speaking very low and like in slurred ways, and that's just me, just not thinking and just not taking my time. And most of the time when I'm doing that, I think it's just really to help me just get on the road and just do that. But yeah, growing up fathers, like I said, left me out without identity, like knowing what a man is supposed to do. So it left me feeling very worthless in a way. Like, why am I here in the sense of like being a man? Like, why am I a man? Why am I a male? Why am I even doing all of what I got to do to survive and help people? Like, of course now I got a better understanding of it because my masculinity upgraded from when I was a kid and a teenager, and I'm better understanding of how the world works and polarities and all these things work and what's going on with the world. I got a better and greater understanding of it. But initially, when I was younger, my mind I could not wrap my mind on it, and it made me very angry. An angry quiet kid. How did that work? Am I going like in reality? How do a silent angry person like survive? And it's like a ticking time bomb in a way, especially with me. In many ways, like I said, and in that I took all my anger out on let's say girls I was talking to and that type of stuff. And like I said, it's not no cool way to be a man. It's like, it's not even cool. That's not even cool, period. You shouldn't be taking your anger out on anybody. And so, like I said, then came with like a control of my own urges and just my mind. And it was just not a good feeling. Like, it's like at times, of course, I can't be ashamed of it now just because, I didn't know any better because I was younger. So I accept it now for what it was. And it was just an experience and something that I had to learn. And like I said, go about the rest of my business and getting some wisdom on it. Because like I said, you can't really gain wisdom if you haven't lived a life, I know I'll be seeing on YouTube videos, people like, oh, you're so wise. Not on my videos. Nobody compliment me like that. And if I'm being honest, I wouldn't even accept it just because, I thank you. But I wouldn't really like take it to heart because I'm only 20. Like I said, I haven't lived a life for real. I lived my 20 years and the life experience I do have, like I said, some of it has been from other people teaching. And like I said, I look at other people and now I tend to look at people and I learn from their mistakes. But beforehand, I was usually just living my life, and I was always like on the fence. I was never really out in the streets and, out in the streets, living a life where I can make mistakes. Like I said, I was scared to make mistakes. And so I avoided, confrontation and things like that. So yeah, my identity was like terrible. Like I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I didn't know how I was going to live. I didn't know like what was my role in society in like the big scheme of things. Like, and it left me feeling worthless. Like I said, it made me feeling like I wasn't shit. And like I said, on top of this, bringing in more personal issues, like, damn, like, well, my father not here, like, well, my mama not here, like, actually trying to be here and, like, raise me, made me feel like, damn, like, why was I even born, like, why am I even here, and why do, like, my parents, like, treat me like I ain't shit, Like, it's not even, like, just me. I probably would think that my siblings probably would even feel the same way, Like, damn, like, see, they had all these kids, and they don't take care of them, like, optimally, And like I said, I get it now. Like I said, I don't feel no type of ways about it. I get that life is life, like I said. And honestly, if they was in my life, would I even be the same person? Like I was. Like my father's in my life, I probably think I'd be a worse individual. I don't think I'd be very selfish. I wouldn't be very selfless that I am. Like I said, I'm very much a helping person. Even when I don't got it, I'm always trying to help people because that's just who I am. Like I said, I've always been a kind of, it's always been very gentle. I think that's one thing I had to understand about my sensitiveness and how I accepted myself. In many ways, my sensitive, when I was younger, I think used to think being sensitive was something like to be frowned upon. Like a lot of people's weaknesses are really strengths, but like I said, depending on how you look at it. And you should never be ashamed of who you are, positive or negative. Because like I said, everybody got something wrong with them. And the quicker you understand that, the quicker you not really give a fuck about what anybody has to say about anything. That's another thing I always had growing up as well, was that people pleasing. I had that through the roof. And I still do it to this day to a certain extent, but it's not to the extent of when I was doing it like in elementary school, middle school, and just high school. Like I wanted to be down with people so bad, and it's like that makes me like I said, it make me cringe thinking back at it, but that's just the truth, People want to be down so bad and want to be accepted so bad, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be accepted, but it's more about what extent are you willing to go to be accepted? Are you willing to go against your own values, your own principles? Are you willing to go against your own right mind? And like I said, many times I was going against my own right mind. I was going against my own what I actually wanted to be accepted by people, And in reality, like I said, even me thinking about this, I never really even had friends growing up. I had people that just wanted to keep me around, and it was only for their own self-image, and just for their own personal gain. It wasn't even if it was something very small. People always wanted to keep me around just for, like I said, their own self-esteem. Some people like keeping people that's below them, to keep them around just so they can feel better about themselves. And that's not how I got down. Like I said, after I started getting some self-awareness about myself and understanding myself to a greater extent, I was gone. Like I said, I became very hermit. Like I retreated into my own little sanctuary where I'm just by myself most of the time. And of course, that's not a good thing all the time, and it's not good to just be isolated, but that's just how I've grown to become. I always been like that growing up, but when I seen that happen, I stopped trying to be down with people, I enjoy conversation with people that's like-minded, and I would have no problem working with people that's like-minded. I have no problem with working with people, but my problem is when people ego get involved and they trying to, and it becomes a clash of egos, and it's like people don't understand that shit is pointless, So in many ways, like I said, I have to understand that the cause of that is just for me feeling inferior, feeling like I wasn't worth shit. And I think that every kid on the planet, just even kids, people, period, should know that they worth a million stars. People should know that they worth something. But people are not people aren't informed about that. People don't feel like they are worth anything. And that bothers me extremely. And that type of shit made me want to cry, because it's like, to have a kid and not really think to not really want to protect your kid and be there for your kid says something about you really bad. And it's like, kids don't deserve that type of stuff, especially because they didn't choose to come into the world. And people that don't take care of their kids need serious help. But yeah, I know self-worth and just people pleasing, that was one thing that I know I had trouble with. And that people pleasing thing is just, it also just shifted to lying. Lying is not lying now, like I said, every now and then, I just have the urge to lie just because, that's because that's, like I said, it's linked to people pleasing, but it's I don't want people to be upset with me just because I just don't like people being upset with me. But at the end of the day, like I said, what's more important is the truth or the lie. And like I said, when a lot of people, it's like you give people too much importance over yourself. And a lot of people don't be more important than you. A lot of people don't even care about, a lot of people don't care about me. A lot of people don't care about you. And just people really just don't give a fuck about you. And that's just the truth of a lot of things. Everybody got something going on, and people are always people are quick to always be like, "Dang, like I got this going on, got this going on," and to say fuck you. And I experienced that multiple times firsthand, just because I'm very caring, and there's been times I probably did that to somebody else. But now I'm in the point where life, where, like I said, I can do a lot for people. Not a lot, but I'm always there for people that I can be. Just because I understand the more of the strength of relationships. But to get back to the original point I was saying was like, just lying. Like, when you lie, you give people, for one, you give people a license to disrespect you. And I think, so for the piece said it in the video, and I'm like, dang. And it made me think about like just all the people I may have lied to, and just girlfriends and shit I just did, just doing crooked shit, you know? It's just not a good feeling. And I wouldn't, and now, if I can take every lie back that I ever said, I probably would. Just because, I mean, it's just not a good feeling to just be lying to people. Especially if it's small. Like, even it just make me feel like I'm not who I am, and I don't want to. And you wouldn't want to be able to give anybody the chance to ever disqualify what you say. You know, nobody should ever be like questioning what you saying, and that's something that I think about a lot. And like I said, of course, if you do, like I said, you gotta deal with the consequences. Your mind is, you are your worst enemy. Like I said, and if you, like me, like I said, I take guilt extremely heavy. Like I said, I don't like doing things that I know I'm not supposed to be doing, because I'm gonna really take it to heart and mind, and I'm gonna really just keep myself in this eternal cycle, this eternal suffering, and I'm never gonna move past it. So, in many ways, I had to sidestep doing a lot of negative things to people, and just even myself, just because my mind works like that. But yeah, lying, people pleasing, what's last? I'm just feeling worthless. Just lack of control. What else happens? Like, when I grew up thinking a lot of things was like my fault. Not just grew up, and that just depended on just how my mother raised me, and just me not getting into trouble. I didn't get into trouble a lot going to school. So let's say if I did get in trouble, it was more about, if I did anything wrong. Let's say, example, let's say I went to school and I got like a phone call home, and my mother was telling me that basically, if the teacher called me, you get in trouble and it's your fault. And I'm like, well, it was not my fault. And the teachers, some teachers be trying to, like I said, just use their power in negative ways, and it could happen. But in many ways like that, whatever happened, if a phone call was made, I was gonna get in trouble. So basically, in my mind, that I would feel bad for even, let's say, me even express myself at school. I'll feel, let's say if I made the class laugh, I'll feel extremely guilty for it. I'll feel a lot of shame for it, because I felt like I was doing something wrong, and if I did it again, or if I, like, let's say I got in trouble for it and I got a call home, like I said, it was the end of the world for me, you know? And it just wasn't like a good feeling that I would like to have again. Like I said, my guilt is very different guilt. It's not a good feeling. It's like, almost like I killed somebody. Just for me, like just trying to make a joke, or just making some people laugh, and the thought of something happening to me would like just tank my whole mood, and just take over my whole body, in a sense, like just shutting it down. And like I said, and that's a lot of things. Like I eventually overcame that. Like I said, I don't feel no type of ways about it now. But yeah, like the kid, in many ways, kids is raised to like raise their parents over here. Like I said, and not raised, but like take care of them. And I don't like how that thought is. I don't like how it is, and it's not very healthy. But in many ways, like I said, I'm understanding that now, that, like I said, I'm growing, and as I'm growing, my family's growing, my mother's growing. Like I said, this is all the work in progress. Like I said, I forgave both of my parents for what they have done, and I don't really hold no hate in my heart for either of them, or even just like just disdain for them, because I mean, at the end of the day, my mama still do whatever she did to if my mother and my father never got together, I wouldn't be here at the end of the day. So I try to keep as much respect as I can for them. Of course, I'm not about to let them just walk all over me and try to tell me what's what and what's not, because like I said, if you're wrong, you're wrong, and if you're right, you're right. But at the end of the day, they your parents. Now, I'm not saying take anything and everything from them, but you got to understand that people make mistakes. Things happen. And like I said, things happen. So about the, who said that? He's like, brother, he said, shit happens, so shift can happen. So a shift can happen. But with me, yeah, that's something that I had to just understand and just take in. That's, you know what, that's just how they are. And I'm gonna let that be. You know, it's like in a way, like you walking down the street, you step on a rock, you can't get mad at the rock for doing whatever the rock did, you know? Like I said, the only way you can do it is be aware of the rock and how the nature is and maneuver around it. I think Robert Greene said something about that in the interview I seen. And like I said, that's the only way I've been learning to maneuver as this young black man in the world, is staying to myself and just being able to discern people that want good for me and people that want negative things out of me, you know, that wants to see me doing bad. Like I said, no company is better than some negative company, and that's why I choose to have no company until I get to the space where I can, you know, properly keep people around me that, you know, want to see me win and also just help me, and so I can reciprocate that, you know. But yeah, like I said, I still love my life. You know, I grew up very fortunate. You know, like I said, I've had a lot of fucked up things happen growing up, which was just living situations, just being poor and that type of stuff. But like I said, I wouldn't want it any other way. Like I said, I can say that like with a big ass smile on my face. Like I appreciate the upbringing I had, because look at me now. Like I said, I'm the Night Saint. I'm Kevin Downer. You know, I wake up every day. I'm grateful that I'm able to live. I'm grateful that, like I said, I'm able to breathe. I'm grateful that I'm able to even record YouTube videos. I'm grateful that I got a girlfriend. I'm grateful that I can see her. I'm grateful I can talk to her. I'm grateful I got family members. I'm grateful that I can talk to my family. I'm grateful that I got a big family. I'm grateful that I'm about to be able to become like a leader in my family. And like I said, and make sure that when I had kids, I don't do the same thing my parents did. I'm grateful for the opportunity to do better. And I wake up being grateful for that. Because like I said, that's the best part about life, you know. Well, in my opinion, my 20 years of living, I think that's one of the best parts about life, is that tomorrow is a new day. Tomorrow is the beginning of the rest of your life. So I keep that in mind pretty often. But yeah, if you like the video, like, comment, and subscribe. Just let me know your opinions in the comments. Tune in for the next video. Thank you.